Water is a resource that is becoming very scarce all over the world, causing deprivation and crisis. Without adequate water supplies, there are many factors of life that will be affected. Water scarcity is defined as the lack of sufficient available water resources to meet the demands of water usage in a region. Water scarcity is a major problem for people and societies all over the globe. Agriculture is one of the largest contributors and victims when it comes to water scarcity. Agriculture accounts for nearly 70% of the global water withdrawals. However, if there is not enough water for agriculture, then there is a negative snowball effect into many aspects of our everyday lives. So, how is water scarcity affecting agriculture today, and what will happen if we let it continue into the future? As I previously stated, agriculture is a large part of our everyday lives. Without agriculture, our economy and food supplies will diminish rapidly. This theme is important not only because water scarcity will affect our agriculture, but also because it is a very prevalent crisis that is happening right now all over the world. Water is the main driver to all things that are living. Steadily increasing populations is demanding greater need for agricultural products. As our population is increasing, we are needing more food and more water in order to keep everyone fed and healthy. If we continue at the rate we are going, water scarcity is going to leave us with small quantities of low quality water. We will have to make changes in the types of crops grown in areas of drought, the kinds of animals need to be raised, alter our farming practices, and make changes in our social habits if scarcity continues to affect agriculture. What is it that is causing water scarcity? There are numerous factors that are causing our lack of water sources. A large one that is considered is our ever-changing climate. As the climate becomes hotter and hotter, many regions are experiencing more frequent and severe droughts. With this lack of precipitation, it is becoming increasingly difficult to have rich farmland that will produce the foods that we need to feed our rapidly growing population. Another factor is urbanization. With larger, faster growing cities, there are more needs for municipal demands on water as they put up parks and golf courses. Urbanization also affects the amount of food consumed. Next is population growth. This seems like the most obvious causation of water scarcity. With more people come more needs to be met. More people will need more food and more water. These changes in consumptions directly affect the demand for agricultural goods. Pollution is another key factor in causing water scarcity. With increasing pollution, there is more waste being put into the earth and it reduces the amount of useful water, which in turn increases the cost of water treatment. These are only a few of the main dynamic causes of water scarcity. However, it is a problem that needs to be mitigated as soon as possible. The best way to learn is from past mistakes. So the best thing anyone can do is to see how others have adapted to water scarcity and go from there. Water scarcity is something that everyone should be aware of because it personally affects everyone around the world. Just by informing people of the issue and giving everyone ways that they can personally make a difference may be the first step to reversing this issue. If the crisis is properly identified, the problem can easily be predicted, avoided, and mitigated. A couple of major ways to mitigate water scarcity is by supply enhancement and demand enhancement. Examples of supply enhancement would be increased access to conventional water sources, reuse of drainage water and wastewater, interbasin transfers, and pollution control. Demand enhancement are actions put in place in order to control water demand. Some ways to accomplish demand enhancement is by raising the overall economic efficiency of its use as a natural resource, as well as reallocation of the water resources. These are some ways that water scarcity can be There are some ways that water scarcity can be mitigated right from the farm. Farmers can reduce runoff and increase the storage of water in the soil. Some adaptations are in the river basin development, such as construction of dams, the utilization conservation policies of improving water management, and reallocation from low to high values of water. Water scarcity is a pressing issue all over the world. If we do our share in making a difference, the world can be a very desperate place in a very short amount of time. Agriculture will not have the moisture it needs to raise adequate crops for the growing population. The economy will crash due to loss in agricultural products, and many agriculturalists will have to resort to a new way of life. The study of geography is defined as physical features of the earth and its atmosphere, and human activity as it affects and is affected by these, including the distribution of populations and resources, land use, and industries. Without water, each and every aspect of geography is greatly affected. The real question is, will we have enough water or human capacity to produce food for a fast-growing population, or will we simply continue to run out of water?